on the right. You ready?
Yeah.
Can I do it my way?
Yeah.
Cutman LG. Take one.
I'm here with Cutman LG.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to New York. Welcome to the Bronx.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here. Can you please introduce yourself to people that don't know you?
Cutman LG, DJ, producer, curator. Yeah.
Can you tell about how you fell in love with hip hop, how everything started?
Hearing hip hop from my bedroom window back in 1978, 79. There was a gentleman by the name of DJ Tyrone, and I'm trying to remember his partner's name, but they were DJing in a schoolyard park in the summertime of 78, 1978, in the Bronx. And I would hear the music come and go with the wind. You got to remember, at that time in New York City, in the Bronx, the summers were very hot. So if you got a breeze, you heard some sound. But not only that, my brother would go. He's a little bit older than me, and he would go to some of the parties and bring home the cassette tapes. And me hearing the cassette tapes brought me a little bit closer to that experience of what hip hop. It wasn't even called hip hop at that time. What that situation, what was going on at that time. So my brother would bring in turntables. He had a friend by the name of Phil Counts, Baby Biggs, may he rest in peace. And they had their crew and DJ and MC as well. And they were actually doing the same thing what these guys were doing on the cassettes and what I heard from afar from my bedroom window. So seeing it up close made me fall in love with it because now I wanted to experience and do the same thing that I've seen my brother and them was doing, and also what I was hearing on the cassette tapes. So that was my first love, first time falling in love with hip hop.
Cool. How is your creative process? Like, you don't have lyrics, you have sounds. How you express what you're feeling, what you're needing without words?
It's all about the beat for me. Taking you back to Africa, the sound of the drum. Me DJing on the turntables, right? Making my own rhythms and keeping them simple because you got to remember, whoever's going to rap on the track, they have to follow what I'm laying down, right? So it should not be too busy, where it's a battle between the beat and a battle between the MC. So it just needs to be just smooth enough, and then when that chorus comes, then I can add all the crazy stuff to it, to make it work. But yeah, that's my creative process. And then thinking about Sly Stone and thinking about James Brown when they was making these songs, and that's actually the beginning of hip hop for us. You know what I'm saying? We played a lot of Sly, we played a lot of James Brown, we played all kind of genres of music. So I try to keep that in mind when I'm creating a song. And for me, it's like a painting on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have that color, you have to have that, all those elements that represents that thing that everybody wants to gravitate to. So that's how I make my songs, my production. I try to keep all those things in mind. And it depends on the rapper, the MC. You know what I'm saying? It's a challenge for them. It's like, you give them a challenging kind of a track, they have to write it accordingly. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep my stuff simple.
Can you tell me about the production of Skills That Pay the Bills?
Oh, Skills That Pay the Bills.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this album.
1992, Island Records, Positive K, the artist, and I did most of the production on the album. The main single that came out was I Got a Man. And as you could possibly see behind me, it was number 2 on the Billboard charts. It went gold 2 days before my birthday, which was January 22nd, 1993. So for me, I mean, I did production, but that particular song kind of like opened my eyes to what could be. What's the, what else can I do to get to that point. But yeah, that was my first gold record, and happy about that.
Yeah, I really like the name Skills That Pay the Bills. That's what I made that tattoo.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Never knew that, that people. Well, you're from Brazil, so I didn't even know that you even knew about that album. That's funny.
Yeah, really cool. Can you tell us why your name is Cutman LG?
So I used to go by the name of Little Gil because of my big brother, Gil, and I started getting taller than him. And a gentleman by the name of Baby Biggs, he says your new name is going to be LG. We're just going to use the initials. Cutman came later on. Cutman came in the 2000s. I was called Easy LG. And that was just like a common name, Easy AD, Easy this person, Easy that person, and I just wanted to do something different. And that name Cutman came along. We were driving in a limo in Florida to go do a show, and I think I had a little bit too much champagne, and I was like, you know what? My new name is going to be Cutman. Cutman is going to be my new name. Mr. Biggs, Globe, and everybody's looking at me like, this boy done went crazy. And I said, say the name. They said, Cutman LG. I said, say it again. Cutman LG. That's my new name. Don't call me Easy LG no more.
Cool. I thought it was something with the cutting samples.
No.
Okay.
But I am a chef on the low, so probably that has something to do with it too.
Okay. Can you tell us your story with the Hip Hop Museum? How you got the music director?
Hip Hop Museum came about in 2011. I had got a phone call from my partner Rocky. He said we might have an opportunity to do something dealing with music in this building on the west side of the Bronx by Jerome Avenue. And he said, you know what, call up a few of the guys so we could just have some kind of an impact, because we have to prove to the city that we're serious about what we're doing. So I called up a few pioneers, and we all joined together. We did a lot of a lot of TV interviews, radio interviews, just bringing the message across, letting people know how important a hip hop museum is for the Bronx, since the Bronx is the home of hip hop. And that was the start of it. We had a lot of doors closed in our faces because there was a lot of people that was trying to do the same thing, but they weren't successful. And we just held the flag up. Rocky, myself, and a few others held the flag up. We kept on pushing and pushing, and then the next thing you know, politicians took us serious now, because now we're getting traction. Microsoft came on board, and that was our first big investor to the museum. So since I produce and play music and I do radio, it was only right for me to take the title of me being music curator, because this is something I did. This is something that I do. I DJ'd on Hot 97. I played on Sirius XM. I'm doing the radio for the museum. So I took on that challenge, because now you have to play the music that people want to hear. And plus we're a museum, so you want to stay away from vulgarity, a lot of swearing and just all that other music. We want to keep it to the essence of what hip hop really is. So that's where I try to keep the balance for hip hop on our radio, on our platform. And as far as the visual for the museum, you don't want a 5-year-old coming in there and seeing some weird stuff on the wall, like, mommy, what is that? And the mother never explained what that is to their child. So, we try to keep the balance of what it is, you know, but also show that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? But got to be mindful.
Cool. So you've been involved with the Hip Hop Museum since the ground zero.
From the very, very beginning, when no one believed, they laughed and they said that will never happen.
Wow. I'm only waiting since 2019, but I'm really waiting for the day.
So we are opening 2026, August of 2026, which is next year. We're in 2025 right now. So yes, the great news is to report is they are doing the installation right now in the museum. Of course, you see the building. The building is built, but we have this empty shell, and stuff needs to be built in this shell. So if anybody out there saw the designs for the museum, all those great things will be in there.
Cool. And how you and Rocky met?
I've been knowing Rocky since Rocky and Jazzy J had a label called Strong City. I had an opportunity to produce songs for the Chief Rocker Busy Bee second album. And that's how Rocky and I met. And we're talking about 1988, 89. So we've been friends, doing business together for that long. And yeah, we're good people. We're good. He's good. He's a good guy. People don't understand him. He's a business guy, but he means well in the community.
What are your inspirations in hip hop, let's say, but you could say about other music genres too?
Well, for me, my inspirations is hearing music that I haven't experienced. Like there's a lot of Sly and the Family Stone songs. I'm a big fan of Sly and George Clinton, Uncle George, and Bootsy Collins and James Brown. But Sly has a lot of songs that were never released, and I'm hearing them now. And he always pushed that envelope of playing different kinds of music: funk, rock, blues, um, inspirations from James Brown. I've just heard like 2 unreleased songs that just recently came out. Prince, you know, um, Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin, just soul, just all kind of genres of music. Manu Dibango. There was a gentleman, King Erskine from no King Gershkin from Brazil. That was a big record in the early hip hop days, called Brother, and just all kind of music that gives me inspiration for me to sit behind a MPC X or a machine and create a track. It's all about the drums and just listening to musical composition from Beethoven and just jazz artists, Oscar Peterson and Lou Donaldson, and just all kind of different music. That's my inspiration.
What do you think are the challenges for DJs?
Well, I I don't see the culture being celebrated as far as the DJing aspect of things, how it was. Everything now is digital, which is great. Um, for me, how I came up, we were looking for records. Now it's very easy for you to get music, which is online, and I don't think that's fun anymore. That's not fun, you know. Like actually holding a piece of vinyl and just reading the credits on the album, who did the drums, who played the trumpet, who played the bass. Um, a lot of these new DJs are missing out on that. So that's a challenge right there. How do we get them back into experiencing that? You know, I see there's a influx of record stores reopening, which is great, right? Um, DJs and a lot of DJs are now want to experience DJing off of vinyl. You know, there's a lot of record plants that would make the records are opening. So and pressing records up. So so the challenge, that's the challenge right there, is to get more people involved in experiencing vinyl. Even cassette tapes. Cassette tapes are coming back. I pulled out an 8-track that I found, well, a whole case of 8 tracks that I found. I never knew what was on it. Forgot what was on it. And some of them that I popped in were like old school jams from 1978, 79. You know, I found one with Lisa Lee on it. So people need.
Let's talk about this too. How you met Lisa?
I met Lisa through her brother Phil. May he rest in peace. Phil used to hang out with my brother because they were they're the same age. And like I said earlier, they would come in with the cassette tapes, leave the cassette. I would sneak and make a duplicate of the cassette, and then sneak to get on the turntables when they weren't around. They caught me a few times. I was emulating everything that they were doing, to the point was that this whole block would hear me playing music just like how they were playing music. And they would be downstairs and say, yo, where's that music coming from? It's like, oh. So they came upstairs and they see me and my partner, may he rest in peace, Robbie. They used to live down the hall. We used to be up in here DJing. And I got caught one time, 2 times, and they dissed me. It's like, yo, buy your own records, buy your own needles, blah, blah, blah. The 3rd time I did it, I found the needles, I found the cartridges. But this time we used to DJ off of belt drive turntables. They hid the belts under the mattresses. So I found it. And this time they came upstairs and Phil, may he rest in peace, he tapped my brother and said, yo, chill, let him spin. I didn't know they were behind me, and I'm just going off. And Robbie was like, yo, L. I look back, I'm like, he's like, no, keep going. And from that time on, they like, yo, listen, if you're going to do this, you need to buy your own needles, buy your own records, and you good. But yeah, that was that was a time back then. So how I met Lisa was from me DJing, and she was looking for a DJ for her group, The Cosmic Force. It was her, Lisa Lee, Baby Biggs, and Sabu. And I was DJing for them. And she would actually speak to my mom. Can I take LG to, and she would say, LG who? Who's LG? She said, Sean. Can I take Sean to such and such club? You know, I want him to DJ for us. And basically, that's how we met. And that was in 1984 or 5.
Wow, a long time.
And I got nothing but love for her because she put me on the big stage. You know, allowed me to spin. She believed in me. And yes, I give it up to Lisa.
Wow.
Shout out to Lisa Lee, y'all.
Woo!
Woo, woo, woo.
One last question. What could you say to people that want to join hip hop today, like as DJs?
Well, learn who was before you. Learn the technicians, the architects, you know, the pioneers of the game. Learn about their struggles, right? Take it from the beginning so you can experience that world and then bring it up to what it is right now. So you can understand both sides of the game. When I say from the first, we're talking about vinyl records because it's fun doing that. It's like it's a treasure chest. You're trying to find a groove on a record or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? The bass line, the horn part. And the DJs now are so creative. They could take that one bar and turn that into a whole song with all the different scratching techniques and all kind of stuff. So follow your dream, study past, present, and future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time,
Thank
this
you.
opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you.
And that's it.
All cool. Get in the film. Get in the picture. Come on, let's do it. Peace, y'all.
Hey, girls, come here too. They don't want to come here.
They tired. Peace, y'all.
I couldn't even hear
We
it.
done.
I didn't even